Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Studio Ghibli Summer. Last time we obviously discussed My Neighbor Totoro, and that was a pretty fun one to talk about. But now we're getting into the real, what people could say, fan favorites, or one of the fan favorites, I would say. And I mean, yeah, well, and you guys will see our opinions here. Yeah, so today we're in episode 5. We're going to be talking about Kiki's delivery service. Kiki, do you love me? In episode 5, we're going to be talking about Kiki's delivery service, released on July 29th of 1989 in Japan, and later on in 1998 in the US. Now, this was one that I've heard a lot of people praise. Whenever Studio Ghibli will come up in conversation, like, oh, you got to check out Kiki's delivery service. So I was very interested to see how this one would go. And what were our opinions on it? Well, you're gonna have to fucking find out. But I mean, yeah, let's just get right into it. So this was made with a budget of around $6 million in US money today. In Japan, it made about 21.8 million, and worldwide, it made about 41.8 million. So obviously, this is like U.S. money nowadays, but you could easily tell that like Studio Ghibli was getting its foot off now, and now they were really starting to get their they were really starting to get popular around this time in Japan. And of course, this was directed by, or once again directed by the legend himself, Hayao Miyazaki. And I mean, yeah, there's really not much else to say. I mean, unless you want to say anything else, Franco, about your experiences with the movie and stuff like that.
While setting everything up for Studio Ghibli Summer, everyone that I talked to who knew Studio Ghibli, they usually always mention how Kiki's delivery service is one of the best, and this was one of the movies that I was most excited to see, alongside like Totoro and Castle in the Sky and like a few others later on. So I was pretty hyped to see this.
Yeah, and does deliver on expectations? Well, you're gonna have to find out.
What's that, like the third time now?
Yeah, fuck it.
Who's counting? I don't care.
But yeah, so to go over the plot, in this anime feature, 13-year-old Kiki, played in the American version by Kirsten Dunst, moves to a seaside town with her talking cat Gigi, played by Phil Hartman, in the American version, to spend a year alone, in accordance with her village's tradition for witches in training. After learning to control her broomstick, Kiki sets up a flying courier service and soon becomes a fixture in the community. But when the insecure young witch begins questioning herself and loses her magic abilities, she must overcome her self-doubt to get her powers back. Now, it's very much different than the previous stories. I think this story is very much about really love, like it's about loving yourself, I would say, because you go for this entire journey. You start off this journey with high spirits, and then as you realize, or as you go through it, you slowly start realizing that life isn't going to be as easy as you thought it would be. You hit a midlife crisis, and then all of a sudden you hit a wall, you don't know what to do, and then you eventually come back fighting. So I think that's definitely a nice message to get around to kids, especially because it's definitely like it's definitely a good message to try and spread around, because at some point kids have to realize that like life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Like, you're gonna encounter those dark patches, and you will encounter people who just go and just don't care. And Well, that sucks. You're just gonna have to realize that the world's like that. And I think this movie is a good personification of how it's what a certain person might or how they would experience it, and how we might experience it too. So I think it's definitely one of the most relatable Studio Ghibli movies I've seen so far.
Probably like the most relatable yet.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to the cast. So we have Kiki, who is played by Kirsten Dunst. Now, if you are someone who's ever gone into movies within the last 20 or so years, you should know this name by now. She was the original MJ in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. So when I figured that out, I was like, now I can't unhear fucking like Mary Jane in Kiki's voice.
And you guys should have seen our fucking reactions. Like, we were just watching the movie, and then Russell's like, "Do you know who this is?" And I was like, "No, it's fucking MJ."
Because I sounded familiar, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna look this up," and I found out. I'm like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Yeah, and like almost everyone in like our boys group has seen the same Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and our reaction, like me and Paul especially, we were like losing our shit. It was like, no fucking way.
Mm-hmm. So that was definitely interesting to find out.
First, it was Russell with the Superman in the last film, and now it's fucking MJ from Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I remember, like I said in the last episode, it's like, now I'm curious, like how many famous actors Studio Ghibli could get for their movies, and then we fucking
figure it out,
and then we get fucking MJ from Spider-Man. That's just like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. Well, taking the Spider-Man stuff out of the equation, I think she really does do a fantastic job as this naive girl who really doesn't know what she's about to get herself into.
Oh, definitely.
And has to learn that this is what life is for a girl her age, and especially coming from people who are kind of around that age and have or are experiencing that sort of midlife crisis. We can definitely relate to this.
Yeah, and good.
So she really pulls it off well.
Yeah, and Lord knows how many times I've been through that.
God. Next up we have Ursula, played by, I think you say Janeane Garofalo. I probably just butchered that. I think what is she?
Like the character, or
yeah.
Ursula's like the character in like the red tank top with like the painter.
Oh, it's that one. Okay. She doesn't really have that. She technically doesn't have that big of a role in the movie. Like, realistically, she only has like a few scenes throughout, but she does contribute to kind of near the end, where to trying to give Kiki kind of like your confidence back. And she definitely does she definitely does work in that sense, and I definitely do give her credit for actually selling that, being like, because she gives it off like she has experienced a midlife crisis before. And it really does seem like she feels what Kiki's going through, and like just tries to help her as much as she can, even though she's like just a human. But what do you think about Ursula?
I thought she had a really great influence, especially towards the end, and I thought that the voice actor for her character, I thought she did a pretty great performance. Because yeah, like Ursula doesn't have a lot of screen time, but like she definitely was a really supportive character, and I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually noticing this just now, just comparing the two back. So last episode, I mentioned a cast member by the name of Pat Carroll or something along those lines, who played I think Granny, right? I believe so.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I'll probably double check.
and I felt something like about it. Like I felt like I recognized her name from somewhere, and then I googled her, and then I found out that that same actress, she's very old. I think she might have actually passed away in like 2022, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was Pat Carroll. I just checked.
Yeah, Pat Girl. If you look at her resume, Franco, you may see a little movie that might catch your interest.
I think I know what it is.
I'll wait for the realization.
2,000 years later.
I think I saw your comment. Wasn't it like The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, she was fucking Ursula in The Little Mermaid. She was the main villain. And now I'm realizing that there's a character released in the exact same year named Ursula.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Fucking Disney.
Shit happens, man.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we already talked about Ursula, right? But if we didn't, great character.
Oh yeah, great character.
And then we have Gigi, who is the talking cat companion to Kiki, played by Phil Hartman. Now, if anyone doesn't recognize Phil Hartman, he is a prominent kind of voice actor, kind of like Frank Welker, and has appeared in numerous popular things like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I'm pretty sure in some like cartoons as well, and like some really notable things if you guys are big into film. But he kind of really only appears like halfway through like the movie, right? It's kind of weird.
At least kind of major wise, kind of
yeah, like voice acting wise.
Yeah.
But overall, for the small, I guess, performance he gives, he doesn't do half bad.
Yeah.
And then we have Tombo, played by Matthew Lawrence, and he is definitely your comic relief character in the movie, and he does good, I think so, at least.
Yeah, solid overall. Because Tombo is supposed to be, I guess you could say, the love interest for Kiki, but Kiki at the beginning doesn't even want to talk to Tombo.
Yeah.
But then after about past halfway through like the movie, that's like when she actually starts to appreciate him.
And like actually starts like to get to know him a lot better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Tombo was a good character. And then we have Osuno, I think that's how you say it. Played by Trace McNillan. I think that's how you say it.
Probably.
I think she.
I'm not sure.
I think she did a very good job. That's kind of like the caretaker for Kiki when while she's doing like her little delivery service thing.
Yeah, definitely saw her potential. She definitely saw Kiki's potential, and you gotta respect that.
Yeah, and she sounded kind of familiar to me, so I looked her up, and she was a prominent voice actor for I think both Disney and Nickelodeon. And the one thing I recognized her immediately from was I think she played the mother in Rugrats. So,
man,
yeah.
Now I just fucking want to rewatch Rugrats, man. It's been years since I've seen that.
I don't know if I'm going to go back to Rugrats, honestly. They made that new CGI show now, and it looks fucking horrifying.
Oh, shit. Now I want to see this and ruin my childhood.
Well, boy, in posting, bam. Just slap that screenshot up and probably haunt millions of people who grew up with Rugrats. There you go. There's a little editing trick for you.
I know
that makes you want to kill yourself.
I know I'm about to ruin Towels' childhood.
Who?
Towels.
Oh.
He fucking...
From my point of view, it kind of looks like cows. I'm like, what the fuck is cows?
Towels, if you're watching this, I'm sorry in advance. Actually, it's too late. He grew up with Rugrats.
I kind of did too, but I was more of a Bluetooth kid myself. Anyway, back to Kiki. Next up we have Barca, played by Eddie McClurg or McClurg. I think that's how you say it.
Eddie McClurg.
I think she was all right. I think she's also the same. I think she's also with Madam. I think that's the same character, or not the same character, but that's like the other old lady.
Yeah, that's like Barca.
Yeah,
she's the old lady in like the pink dress.
Yeah, the pink dress, and then the Madam is the one with the kind of the weird blue eyes.
Yeah,
that I seriously thought she was blind for like a good chunk of the movie. I don't think she is. They both do fine.
Yeah.
I will admit though, there's one scene near the end that did start choking me up a bit, and I'll talk about that when I get to favorite scenes. But oh boy, was that an emotional one. And then we have the mom and the dad, who are played by Keith. Oh no, it is Keith. Keith Suchi, I think that says, or Suki. And then the dad's played by Jeff Bennett. They both do all right for the little like roles that they have. I think they only have like one scene at like the very they only have like a couple scenes at the beginning and like one at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like in the post credit scene, kind of. But yeah, they do all right with what they got. But what do you think about them?
Not bad. Again, it's like they're almost, besides the beginning and the end, that's pretty much it. But overall, they did okay.
Yeah, and I think the rest of these are like minor characters, like the radio announcer, the senior witch, and Kate. Ket. I don't even remember what Ket was. Oh wait, is she like the one chick that like the key to that delivery service for with that cake?
No. Ket,
or like the pie or whatever.
Ket was like the young boy who like the
one with the net. Oh, right.
Yeah, like the young boy who would not stop watching TV.
Yeah. Turn that damn TV off. But they're pretty like minor characters. I think they only have like a couple scenes, and then they're just out of the movie.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna go into favorite scenes, and besides the one I was technically mentioning a little bit ago, I cannot honestly think of one that honestly comes to mind.
Yeah.
But the one scene that got me choked up near the end was when I think it's what's her face, Osumo. I think that's the character. Osuno, that's what it was, not Osumo. Osuno calls Kiki when she's like trying to like find like who she is, and she's like like the old ladies that you did that one delivery for. Apparently they want you over back their house again. It's apparently like an emergency, or it's not an emergency, but it's like urgent. So she goes off, drives, gets a taxi over to their place, and greets herself again. And she, I think it's Madam, right? That, she's like, yeah, because she's the one that's sitting at in the chair, and she's like, oh yeah, my legs aren't working or that well, but I wanted to give this to a young girl who really did help me. And Kiki opens the box, and it's like a cake for her and like her delivery service, and she realizes that the old lady's talking about her. And like I nearly fucking shed a tear during that. I'm like, fuck, man,
yeah, that's a very heartwarming scene.
Mm-hmm. And then like the way that she wipes the tears out of her eyes, and she's like, yeah, and I think I know like an old lady too that could like really use some like, oh no, no, it's because it's like I think the Madam is like I make this cake for this young lady, and I want to know when her birthday is so I can give this to her. Then she Kiki opens up the box, I guess, sees the cake, and realizes it's her that she's talking about. And then after she's like she tears up a bit and wipes her face. She's like, "Oh yeah, and I know an old lady too that I would really like to know her birthday too, so I can make stuff for her too." And I'm like, "Oh, it's too wholesome. I can't take it." But yeah, that fucking got me. So I would say that's like my favorite scene. You, Franco?
It's kind of hard to choose a scene because it's like with like I can't really think of any. Well, besides that, I guess, because I do love that scene a lot as well. I can't really think of any other scenes that I would call my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think I would probably have to go with that because that was just too much, man. Like that was too good.
If I had to say any runner-ups, is the one scene where Kiki and Tombo are like actually starting to get to know each other with that fucking bicycle plane.
Yeah.
Like that scene was pretty funny because it was like them like flying down the freeway, like nearly running into cars, and like they actually start getting air and they start going down like this hill and then they fucking crash.
Yeah. That was a good scene.
That whole scene, and then like the one where they go to the beach and see this blimp, which I forgot what they actually called the blimp.
I'll look up the name right now.
I mean, obviously we're gonna show like what the name is here.
Yeah, we'll show.
But yeah, they get to this like blimp, and it's like, wow, that sure does look amazing, and it's like them actually like building up the chemistry between each other. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cute. I could definitely see them as like, a couple. I know that's that I like keep on saying that with like certain types or certain like characters, but it's like I think Studio Ghibli is like one of those companies that really makes you want a sequel and see their relationship build up, like Pazu and Shita and Castle in the Sky. What was the other one? Nausicaa and what's the fucking boy's name in Nausicaa? Played by Shia LaBeouf. I forgot what the fucking name of him is. But like them two, I could definitely see them as a couple. And then these two,
Asbel, that's the dude's name, Asbel.
Fuck. Okay, so yeah, like Nausicaa and Asbel in Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind, and then Pazu and Shita in Castle in the Sky. I could definitely see Kiki and Tombo being like a nice little couple together because it's definitely like a sort of thing that grows throughout the film, but it really does like build up. It's a good build up throughout.
I just found the name of like the blimp. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I did send it to you in case you want to shout at it.
Let me see this.
Like the dirigible.
Dirigible. I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the blimp was called.
But yeah, they go over to this blimp. It's like, oh wow, it's so amazing. Honestly, it's a nice looking blimp. I don't know if I would go into it though, if I had to be honest. And I mean, yeah, I think that's about it for favorite scenes, really.
Yeah. Okay, so right now this is Odd Boy, and I was editing the video, right, and I just remembered that me and Russell forgot to mention one part of the movie that our good friend Paul wanted us to mention a lot, and I did want to mention it as well. But basically, in one scene of the movie, there's this music piece playing, right? And, at first I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I thought it was a great piece of music. But then, while we were watching the movie, Paul told us how it sounded just like If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. I'm not kidding. It literally does. So you can literally sing the lyrics to that song. Like, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. You could sing that to like this scene of the movie, and it actually fucking fits. It literally sounds like it. And I was like, no way in fuck was that real. So basically, if you want to try this out for yourself, just to see it for yourself, go to this timestamp of the movie, which you can get on Prime Video, Vudu, or HBO Max, or just Max as it's called right now, or any other streaming service that Kiki's delivery service is on right now. But yeah, I forgot to bring that up.
Same as usual for the music. It's pretty much great as usual.
Dude, the music slapped so hard while we were watching. It was amazing.
like admittedly, it's not as good as some of the other ones, like Castle in the Sky
Yeah,
or
that is fair.
Grab of the Fireflies, but it's definitely better than like My Neighbor Totoro and Nausicaa.
Oh,
I
definitely.
would definitely say.
Although I didn't think My Neighbor Totoro was that bad, but I think this is a little bit
Well,
better.
yeah, but this is still definitely better than that one. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go to the fun facts now, and the fun fact number one is did you know that the film setting was based off of Miyazaki's trip to Sweden? So yeah, during the production phase for this movie, Hayao Miyazaki and his artists traveled to Sweden to research for the film. The photographs they took of Stockholm and Visby formed the basis of the fictional city of Curacao. The city also contains elements of Lisbon, Paris, San Francisco, and Milan. I will definitely say though, the shots that they give off both inside and outside of the city do look very nice, and obviously we're gonna be throwing up screen grabs for to kind of illustrate the points here. But like yeah, it made me feel like that like this was like an old timey kind of like town.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes actually kind of along to our next point is did you know that the film takes place in an alternate version of Europe? Let me explain. So the story technically takes place during the 1950s Europe, but it's in an alternate version of Europe where World War One and World War Two never happened. Hayao Miyazaki has been quoted saying that the fictional city of Curacao, or Kokuro,
yeah, close.
Yeah, Kokoro, has one side of the shores of the Mediterranean and the other on the Baltic Sea. So it's very smack dab into like Europe, and it does make you feel like this is definitely something that would have happened. This is a city that you would have seen during World War II, and kind of like Castle in the Sky, honestly. They're both like really kind of like World War II kind of like or World War II set films, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel that. I think that's pretty much about it. So final thoughts, your final thoughts, Psycho, on Kiki's delivery service?
I will just say this: I was not disappointed watching
Yeah,
this.
yeah, me either, honestly.
Like, I was pretty hyped to see this because I heard so much praise of this movie, and it did not fail at all. I definitely love this movie. I think I would probably give it an A because I think the range we're at right now, most of these Studio Ghibli movies are going to be like A tier because while they're good, they're not as good as like
They could be better.
They could have been better, but it's still fun to watch. So I think like a solid A is I think I'll give it a solid A.
Okay. So for me personally, I think so far it's one of the better Studio Ghibli movies I have seen. So in terms of ranking them, I'm gonna put this below Castle in the Sky and Grave of the Fireflies, but above everything else that we've seen. So Nausicaa and My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty much right smack in the middle.
Yeah, I do that as well.
But for letter grading, I don't know if I gave one for. I think I gave one for My Neighbor Totoro. I think
you did. I can't remember I think you gave it like a B. Something.
I think a B plus. I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give I nearly called it Nausicaa. I'm gonna go ahead and give Kiki an A minus because while My Neighbor Totoro, I feel like in terms of style, like how it's structured, I feel like that My Neighbor Totoro and Kiki are like on the same of like rewatch level where they're both very easy to rewatch. I think I'm gonna give the edge to Kiki because I feel more attached to this. Like, there's more of a story that you can follow with compared to My Neighbor Totoro, where it's more like never really much happens.
Yeah, and I think this, this movie also has probably the most relatable main character yet.
I would say one of because I mean, you also, in terms of like relating to like us humans, yes, definitely. But I still feel for the character like Pazu and Castle in the Sky and Seta and Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, although I think
I feel for them more, but on like on a human level, I feel for Kiki the most because I can like relate to her. So I definitely see where you're coming from with that. But yeah, I'm gonna put it smack in the middle of my current rankings. So currently for me, I think we'll do every like 5 episodes. We'll do like a current rankings of like our current like status for Studio Ghibli, and from worst to weakest to best, I feel like we should label that for now because none of these are bad.
Yeah, not even Nausicaa was bad, but
from weakest to best, I'm gonna go Nausicaa, My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki, Grave of the Fireflies, Castle in the Sky.
That is my exact same list as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right now. I think Nausicaa is better than Ponyo. Fuck off. I bet I'm burning the fire in fucking Aboy's stomach right now.
Well, I was gonna say I bet you just pissed off Paul, but I was also.
That's true.
I was also gonna say, let's wait until we rewatch it because for all we know, your opinions could change.
That's true, but the thing is, I gave both Nausicaa and Ponyo the same rating on Letterboxd, and that's because I like them kind of like the same for different reasons. I like the story of Nausicaa better than Ponyo, but visually, I think Ponyo's more expressive.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're probably gonna talk about this more when we get to Ponyo, which
that's
way later on.
That is way later on.
But Franco, you want to give out what we're gonna be talking about next for Studio Ghibli Summer?
The next movie that we will be reviewing is Only Yesterday, released in 1991, which I haven't heard anything about this, so my expectations aren't high or low. I'm just like,
I've heard very, very mixed things about it. I've heard some people say it's a really good one, and I've heard some people say it's pretty goddamn terrible.
All right, well, that's gonna be something that's gonna be an experience for sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
just based off that, I'm kind of nervous now.
I'm nervous as well. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Studio Ghibli Summer. As always, go and check out our boy's channel. This thing wouldn't have really been possible without him. Obviously, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel and to his and go and follow him on Kick. And as per usual, if you like this sort of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to get notified when future videos are coming out. You can also click like right here. The card will probably be somewhere around here to go to my YouTube channel, or just click my name down there. You can also check out the latest 2 videos right here, which are probably Studio Ghibli videos anyway. Also, you go and check out the description. My social medias will be down there: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You'll get notified when future videos are coming out, as well as just my personal life in general. Also, go and follow me on my Letterboxd page to figure out, if you guys want to figure out what I think about these Studio Ghibli movies early, before the reviews actually come out on YouTube. I'll give like my short little reviews there before the videos actually come out. And like I said, well, as per usual, I'm going to go and right after we record this, I'm going to go and do my little review on Kiki right after this. So go and make sure to give me a little bit of a follow if you want to figure out my opinions on that. And obviously, go and follow me on my Twitch. I'm going to try and hopefully start streaming again soon, but I don't fucking know. Anyway, guys, see you guys next time for our review on Only Yesterday. We'll see you guys later. Live long and prosper. Out.
See ya.